My name is Yemi. On today's show, it's going to be so much fun because we're going to learn something really new and very, very interesting. So I want you to sit back, relax, don't change that channel because we'll be right back for more on Kids and Mom. Welcome back to the show. Now today, like I said at the start of the show, it's going to be very surprising and quite informative. I have in the studio with me Okeyele Elizabeth. Now she is a knitting teacher for children certified by the Craft Yarn Council of America, a graduate of textile technology from the Yaba College of Technology and the author of a children knitting book titled Knitting ABC Book, 20 Inspired Patterns for the Young to Explore. She is a passionate entrepreneur and the founder of Tunis Creation, an organization that is passionate about passing on needlecraft skills to the younger generation. To their credit are the following programs: Kids Knit Classes, the Knit and Crochet Contest, Tiny Hearts for Tiny Babies, and Train the Trainer Workshop. In February 2019, her knitting group was featured in the Best Knitting Group in the United Kingdom, titled Let's Knit Magazine, under the charity when she organized children from Lagos, Abuja, and Kaduna to knit and crochet 155 hats for premature babies across Nigeria. She strongly believes that the will to think must be integrated into education via hard work skills, and she, alongside her team, have set a goal to reach 20,000 children across Africa with their knitting and crochet skills by 2025. And she's a very, very happily married woman to a beautiful man, and she's a wonderful mother to 2 sons. Elizabeth, welcome to Kids and Mom.
Thank you. Knitting is on national TV.
I can see on your lap there some, awesome yarns, and I can see some things displayed. And I know, when children think about knitting, they think about older people, adults,
grannies,
dry people, and grannies making them sweaters.
That's correct.
And stuff like that. So, can you tell me what really piqued your interest in needlework?
Well, I started knitting as a child. I made caps for children in my neighborhood. I would knit at night when others are sleeping. I would knit anywhere, wherever I have the time. I love knitting and I love crocheting. So it was something I picked up as a child.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yes, it is.
So was this like the core of the reason why you studied textile technology at the Yaba College of Technology?
Not really. I love textile. I wanted to make a career out of it. It had nothing to do with my love for knitting and crochet.
Okay, but your passion and your love for knitting and crochet overtook your desire for textile technology?
That's very correct. After my NYSC, that was when the passion grew so big, and I started my Tunis Creation with my Alawi in 2012.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes,
all right, so tell me about Tunis Creation. Just enlighten us a bit about exactly what you do on a day-to-day.
All right. Tunis Creation is an organization that is passionate about passing on needlecraft skills to children.
Okay.
To our credit, we have the Kid Knit classes running in most schools on the island and the mainland. We have our Tiny Hats for Tiny Babies Nigeria. That's the charity part of the knitting where we knit hats for preterm babies in Nigeria. We have the Train the Trainer Workshop where teachers who also want to teach knitting to their children get to come to the yarn factory and they are trained as well.
Okay, so let's pick this one after the other.
All right.
You say that you teach knit classes.
That's correct.
For children in school.
Yes, that's correct.
What has been the reaction of the children and what is the gender feel of your class?
Well, we have more girls than boys.
Okay.
Let's say 80% girls and 20% boys, because in Nigeria we still believe knitting and crochet is strictly for girls.
Yes.
But boys get to use that platform of knitting and crocheting to express themselves as well. So creativity, concentration, patience, and perseverance are also skills boys need as well. And these are the skills you take out for knitting. So knitting is good for girls and it's good for boys as well.
Now, you say perseverance, you say consistency,
concentration,
So
creativity.
those are the creativity. So those are really the skills
exactly
that you pass across to the kids kids
Yes.
when they learn how to knit.
That's very correct.
So are they able to apply these skills on every other thing that they do in life?
Of course, the ability to follow through comes with knitting, and that you learn when you read patterns to knit. Now, this same ability to follow through, which you pick from knitting, you also transfer it to other areas of your life, and that also include academics. So basically, most of my young knitters are actually do very well academically as well.
Because obviously they learn how to concentrate.
Exactly.
They learn how to be disciplined.
Exactly.
And they learn how to be creative.
And also responsibility as well, because you have to bring your knitting kits to class every week. So you're responsible for your project, you're responsible for your supplies, you're responsible for your materials. You apply that same responsibility to your academics as well. So many a times my young knitters do very well academically.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Now let's talk about the Tiny Hats for Tiny Babies Nigeria. What spurred that passion in you to do this?
In 2013, we set a goal to knit 50 hats for premature babies in East Africa, that's in Rwanda to be precise. So 2 schools and some few children, we knitted 50 hats and we sent it to Rwanda. So in 2014, we decided that we have more premature babies in Nigeria. In fact, Nigeria has the highest rate of premature babies in Africa and 3rd largest in the world. So if we are to give premature babies, if we are to knit premature baby hats, we should knit for babies in Nigeria. And that's what gave birth to the Tiny Hat for Tiny Babies Nigeria.
So how many hats do you knit every year?
Last year we knitted 155 hats for premature babies in Lagos, in Abuja, and in Kaduna. We have Abiye Maternal Foundation who distributes their hats to all the premature babies across Nigeria.
You know, if someone watching the show for the very first time doesn't have an idea what knitting is, could you tell and explain what is knitting?
Knitting is a method of fabric production where you use a pair of knitting needles like this, create stitches with them, and the stitches are interlocked for the project you want to make. So all you need to do is get your yarn, which is this. You find the end of your yarn, preferably we like to double the yarn.
Okay.
Double the yarn, you make your slip knot like this, anchor it on the needle. Now the number of stitches you want to knit are the ones you are going to cast on your needles. So if I want to make a tiny scarf, I'll do that with just 10 stitches on my needle, and that's what I'm doing now. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 stitches on my needle. We knit on these 10 stitches to basically forming our scarf.
Okay, all right. So what's the difference between knitting and crocheting?
When you knit with a pair of needles.
Okay.
Now, if you want to crochet with a hook, with a crochet hook. So this does not have a hook, this have a hook. That's the difference in the tool.
So the outcome is different because of the type of tools that is used to be made.
Exactly. So the tool differentiates the skill. This is a crochet hook for crocheting, while this is a pair of knitting needles for knitting.
So what are the benefits of knitting for a child, for example? Let's say a very active child. What are the benefits of knitting for that kind of, especially children whose attention are moved back and forth?
Now, for that hyperactive child, knitting calms the child down, because if you want to knit, you have to sit and follow through on whatever you are doing. And the child who is knitting is basically looking at his or her work and not looking away. So it helps with the concentration, hands and eye concentration. It helps with being able perseverance. It helps with patience. It helps with being able to sit and follow through. And you are also able to engage both sides of your brain as you are working with your right and your left hand simultaneously at the same time. You are also learning the will to think. So all of these activities, children benefit if they learn how to knit.
Now, I'm sure a mother is watching this show right now.
Okay.
And she's probably asking herself this question, that at what age should I start teaching or exposing my child to knit?
Age 3. We have the finger knitting for age 3, where they learn how to finger knit with their index finger, their thumb, and their middle finger as well. Now, age 3 is the age where children start learning how to write.
Yes.
So when you learn how to finger knit, you are building dexterity in the smaller muscles,
yes,
in the fingers, in the thumb, and so it is really, really very helpful when that child learns how to write.
Okay.
That's for finger knitting.
Because there's a bit of coordination with the fingers fingers already.
All the muscles, exactly.
All the muscles
Because
are being exercised.
exactly. Then from that finger knitting, that child can move on to knitting on the spool loom at age 5.
Okay.
Then at age 6, depending on how calm that child is, the child is ready to learn how to knit with the needles.
Okay, so I wanted to find out, are the needles the only tools that we can use for knitting?
No, we have machine knitting, we have spool looming, and we also have smaller children machine knitting.
Okay, so that spool looming, is it the one that is in the fairy tale of the Sleeping Princess?
Something like that, yes. It could be circular, it might be rectangular.
Okay.
You can also knit rounded. So
Okay.
it's much more simpler and easier for children between age 4 to age 6.
Okay, because I remember growing up, I read it wasn't Sleeping Beauty.
Okay.
It was Princess Aurora.
Okay.
Where, like there was a cursed place, and if she spoons a yarn, she's going to fall asleep for like 1,000 years.
Wow.
And things like that. Yes. So, this just reminds me, and this is why education in different forms are very, very important. Because if a child should maybe watch a movie that has this type of instrument in it, and then watches Kids and Mom, they're going to be able to resonate
interrelate it, put it together.
everything together,
Exactly.
and form a learning that, oh, so this is what this is.
Exactly,
You understand?
exactly.
That's fantastic. Drop your comments and questions on our Facebook page. You can follow us on Twitter and on Instagram. Do you think knitting is relaxing, or does it take a lot of concentration and it's very serious?
For me, I think it depends on the goal of the knitter. At times we need to relax.
Yes.
At times we need for a particular customer. Maybe we have a project we want to meet up with. So it depends. Now when you are knitting for charity, it's basically for relaxation.
Okay. Okay, so you do it at your own place.
Exactly. And different on the goal you have in mind.
Okay.
So for a child who is knitting hats for a premature baby, that's really very relaxing.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that project goes for a beautiful cause. So that's really relaxing.
Okay. So do you think knitting fosters like positive childhood development?
Of course. Many a times with moms who come to our class, remember who taught them how to knit when they were children. So they remember their grandmas, they remember their mom, or whoever is the first person who passed on that skill. And so many a times the children as well who are knitting want to knit for an adult, they want to knit for a sibling. So they attach positive memories, they attach positive feelings because they are knitting and giving it out. And that builds their self-esteem, that builds the fact that they want to also help others as well. And they are also giving back, and that improves their mental health.
I like what you said about positive energy and positive thinking and like coming from the heart.
Exactly.
When you use connecting your emotions to the work of your hands, the passion comes alive.
Exactly.
And I love the passion that you're teaching us today.
Thank you
because
so
it's
much.
Very, very obvious that you love what you do.
And to crown that up, I have this beautiful doily for you.
I've
So-
got a present,
yes.
everybody.
So you can put this it can rest on any of these and beautify that.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We say thank you.
My pleasure.
Now,
Well done.
I'm not done asking you questions.
All right, feel free, please.
So, now we've talked about positive childhood development. We've talked about concentration. We've talked about creativity. Now, there's some particular aspects of children that parents are very, very particular about. That's
Okay.
their analytics and their logic thinking.
All right.
They want children to be able to make decisions, to be able to think through processes, to be able to make right choices, stick with projects, follow through, And, although you've touched base, one or two, because sometimes if a child doesn't have that emotional pull towards knitting, they could get distracted.
That's correct.
So how does knitting enhance the children's logic and analytical skill and build up that for them?
Now, first of all, as a knitting teacher, what we do is bring to class a finished project of what we want the child to do.
Okay.
And the child gets
So you give them a vision.
exactly. They have a concept. They know what they want to do. Then they get the set of instruction they have to follow through. Okay. Now tell me, how can you arrive at that project without thinking?
Yeah.
So you have to follow through on the instructions before you can arrive at that final project. And arriving at that final project builds your self-esteem. So for that child who has taught, put him or herself together, put the materials together, follow through on patterns, follow through on colors.
Yeah.
When that child arrives at the final project, how do you think he or she will feel?
Fantastic.
So you cannot arrive at that project without thinking. So you have to use both sides of your brain at the same time. So we would say knitting is hard work. It's hard work because you're using both sides of the brain and the child is learning the will to think. Okay. I think that's paramount for most parents. So they want their children to be independent thinkers. So to arrive at the point of being independent thinkers, you have to make your mistakes. And making mistakes is part of the learning process for everyone. So you do all of that while you're knitting.
Do you have something for mothers? Let's say a mother and child class.
Yes.
Sometimes it's always very interesting if mothers learn these things as well. Am I correct? And then they can sit at home and do the assignment with their child as a bonding exercise.
Of course.
So do you have a platform where mothers who have absolutely no idea how to knit, can they learn? Do you have a platform?
Yes, we've had something like that, and we still have something like that in our kid knit classes running in some schools on the island.
Yes.
As an extracurricular club.
Yes.
So mothers can sign on with their daughters.
Oh.
Mothers can sign on with their sons.
Okay.
Now, because we are relaxed when we're knitting, conversations can flow. Communication is at the best. Mom and daughters can bond. Mom and sons can bond.
Can dads join you?
Yes, boys. I've had boys who make fantastic knitters.
And their fathers come
We are hopeful in the future.
What advice do you have for children who have a desire to knit, or someone, maybe a child whose desire just picked up today? What advice do you have for them?
Go to the craft shop. You have yarns, you have knitting needles, you have books that can build your inspiration. Go to
You have a book.
Exactly, a knitting ABC book. You can find this on most stores in Lagos, in Abuja as well. So the thing is, go to the store, go to YouTube videos, go online, you find yarns, you find needles that will spoil your creativity, and you'll be amazed at what you can do.
Okay. Well, Elizabeth, I had so much fun interviewing you today.
Thank you
I
so
am,
much.
You know, my interest in knitting has been picked, because I'll say the truth. When I was in high school, I tried, but I had a very horrible teacher. So I just lost interest. But I think I'm just going to pick up knitting ABC and see what I can do from there.
Thank you so much.
All right, so thank you guys so much. Thank you everyone. Thank you to our kids. Thank you to our moms. Thank you for joining the show today. As we've learned, knitting not only enhances creativity, logic, analytics, but it also enhances the positive childhood development of our children. So, and also we can make this a fun learning experience for the whole family, where mother, father, children, everybody learns how to knit.
My name is Joshua Onosaya. I'm 9 years old. I want to be a robotic technician when I grow up. I like creating games, apps for people to learn and make the world a better place. My advice for other children is that they should follow their dreams and grow up to be someone great in life. My name is Joshua, and keep watching Kids and Mom.
Hello and welcome to Kids and Mom. My name is Tokes. How have you been? I trust you've been having a fantastic week. On today's episode, I'll be sharing with you general children's etiquette. So number 1, greetings. When I came on set, what did I say? I said hello. It's very important that we teach our children how to say hello and to say goodbye. 2 simple words, when they enter into a gathering, they say hello to whoever they meet, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and goodbye as well when they are leaving a place. It's good respect, it's good habit, it's good behavior. Number 2, saying their please and thank you. they are like magical words, but for me they are not. They are just basic etiquette that every child should learn from a little age. From the moment they can say ABC, I believe that saying thank you and please is very vital. It takes them further on. It lets them get lots of goodies as well. It also presents them to the world, to themselves as well, as grateful people as well. Number 3, children play around, and when they play sometimes they bump into each other. It's very important that we let our children know that every time they bump into each other or bump into others, that they say sorry. It's very important. It's not like, oh, I didn't do it, it was an accident, it was a mistake. We know all of that, but saying sorry at such a crucial point in time is very vital. Number 4, cover your mouth when you sneeze. Very vital key point, because you don't want to spread germs, like my son would say. Mom, don't spread your germs everywhere. So every time you sneeze, you cover your mouth. And after that, you wash your hands after you sneeze. Very basic etiquette that every child should learn. Number 5, sit properly. As a male, as a female child, it's very important that when you sit down very well. So it's very important that we learn to tell our children to sit properly when they sit down. Sit down with your legs crossed, don't spread your legs open if you're a lady, sit properly. Even showing them some clips of how it's to sit can help them to understand why sitting is very important. Number 6, clean up after your mess. So what does that mean? Every child plays, and when they play, it can get messy sometimes in nursery, at school, or at home. But when we let our child have the responsibility of owning their space and cleaning up the mess after they've made them, it will make our lives so much easier. So every time they play, you say to them, once you finish playing with your toys, clear them up and put them back into the box. It helps them own their space as well. It helps them have a responsibility of care for people all around them. And it lets them know that these are your toys, it's mine, so I'm going to take care of them. And that's one of the key ways of doing that. Number 7, be on time. Yes, you heard it, be on time. So to school, to lesson, for a birthday party, to a function, for whatever it is that your child has been invited to or is willing to be part of, it's very important that you imbibe a habit, a culture of being on time. Being on time, being punctual is like a basic etiquette for everything in life, because as they grew up in life, when they finish primary school, finish secondary school, university for example, they have specific times for lectures, and it's very important that they start learning this habit from a very early. Being on time. So that's all I have time for today on Kids and Mom. I hope that you've enjoyed these few tips I've shared on general basic etiquette for children. Till I come back your way again, have an amazing day.
We'll be back again next time, same station. Today we learned all about eating. We learned about how it helps our brains to think, how we are able to concentrate and use what we learned in our academics as well. Isn't that swell? Fantastic. Alright, so we'll come your way again next time, same station. My name is Yele and I will see you soon.